Sorry, Micheline from Micheline Makes. I am wearing a kind of a mishmash. The top is a Lekala fitted sloper that I made. It's got a seam around here, a little princess seam on both sides, and I basically, the one that I did, the sloper that I did, went right down to past my hips. So I cut it at that point, and then I added the sew over it penny skirt to it, and I just made it all, it's a very flowing one. I'll put a picture up here to let you see what it looks like. I love it. I made it about 2 or 3 years ago, and I absolutely love it. So let's get on. This is Linda May asked me if I would help explain how to sew the Lekala patterns. I do know that Lekala is getting better, but with their instructions. But I think any of the older patterns are not bothering to do them, to add to them. It's slightly different from the one that that Linda wants to do, but it's basically more or less the same format. The one that you've got, Linda, has short sleeves and they roll back on there. There's like a cuff on there. I'm doing this one, I think it's the same round neck, and I'm going to have this here, and I'll show you the fabric that I'm going to use. I'm just using what I've got. Well, for this one I'm using what I've got because I had black and I had some fabric that one of my viewers sent me. If I can put that, I'll just put that there for the moment. So I've got black. It's a fairly heavyish black. It's a polyester black jersey. Don't know if you can see that. It's coming out like a grey colour here, but that's black jersey. There, that's better. And I've got quite a lot of it. I think there's about 2 meters or 3 meters that I've got here, so I'll use that. And I was going to do the lace bit, and it was one of the viewers suggested that I did that. When I said I had some lace, and I said I had some, it's a beigey, it's a salmon-y type of beige lace, like that. And it's stretchy, so I'm going to have that as a contrast. Don't know what it'll turn out like. I've never worked with lace before, so this is going to be quite interesting. It stretches that way, but it doesn't stretch that way. So I'm going to have to work out which way I should put it on. I've got a funny feeling that I should go that way, which means that I'm going to have to put a seam in the front if I do that way. If I do that way, I've got a little bit of stretch. I might be able to get away with it that way. So basically it's going to be like that over the front there, and then I'm going to have, if I can show you, I'm going to have a contrast like that at the bottom. We'll see what it turns out like. I've had this since before lockdown, and this I've had a while, so I've got to use, I'm using up as much stash as I can, so that will come in handy. So first of all, now this is going to prove a little bit difficult for sewing. Like I say, I've never done it before, so let's see what it turns out like. But first of all, I need to cut the patterns out. Now that I'm sure you should be able to do yourself, so I shall get to the point where I've got them cut out, and then I can show you what I do. So basically I've cut 2 black pieces out from the pattern, but I've extended them because I want to make mine a bit longer. This is the front and that's the back, and they are like that. I've cut those out into the lace. The lace are like that on that side, and this is the upper front and the upper back. Now the only thing about the Lekala on this one, some of them do, I think this is probably a very old one, an old pattern, because they should put notch marks on. So what you can do is, if you want to, before you cut it out, you can take your pattern, because that's going to go like that, and you can just draw a little notch across there in the same position as that one, and that'll give you an idea of how that meets. Similarly, if I take, say, this one, which is the upper back, that's your fold on there. This bit here is your fold, and that's your fold there. So if you have the pattern, if you lay the pattern on top of here, like that, you can basically see where the pattern's going to go. So you could make a notch there, or a line there, just so that you've got notches to match up with. I personally don't use them because I just eyeball it. And on the pattern it continues onto the sleeve there. Pull that up. On the pattern it continues on the sleeve part. So the sleeve, that is the bit that's going to go in there, the little notch. It's going to be folded over front and back with a notch there. So you're going to have pieces like that. Your back on the fold, yoke on the fold, and your sleeve, which is folded along here. So the first thing we're going to do is, it says sew the shoulder seams. And when it means sew the shoulder seams, you're going to take this front lace one and the other front lace one, and you're going to sew the shoulder seams together. So the shoulder seams are these two here. That's your shoulder. That is the long seam that runs along there. So you're going to sew your shoulder seams together. If I take this off, I'm going to identify the back of my thing because I need to know which is the back. What I do is I sometimes put pins in, so like that. If I put 2 in there, then I know that's the back. If I put 2 in this one, just anywhere, just randomly anywhere. So I'll put 2 pins in here because I know that this is the back of the yoke, this is the back yoke, and that other one is the front yoke. You're going to have your fold down there, your fold down there, open them out like that. So you've got this going away right the way across here. I'll move the black out because we don't need those yet. Right, we have that there, and this is the back because I've put 2 pins in to let me know that that's the back. Now this is right side up, so I'm just showing you at the moment what I'm going to do. I'm going to be sewing along there and along there. So I'll put this right sides together and then I'll pin along here and sew. Now because this is lace and I haven't done lace before, I think what I'm going to do, personally, some people would probably say differently, but let me just pin this to show you what I'm going to do. Pin that there, right to the end there, and do the same on this one. Sorry, I'm wearing a pyjama top, an old pyjama top, because we are busy decorating, and so this is I've put an old pair of pyjamas on and a pink top on because we're decorating, and I'm not bothered about this. They're going in the bin if they get covered in paint. We're going to sew along there and along there. I think I might not serge this because it's lace. I might just do a straight stitch and then I may fold it over and stitch over the top. I'll come back to you and show you what I've done with it when I do it. So I've sewn along there, and as I've just shown you, I've done a straight stitch, and then I've gone and done one of my the stretch stitches where it does so many stitches and then goes out, so many stitches and goes out. Could have done serger, but I feel that with this being lace, I wanted a bit more control. And to me, serger is great, it's fast, but it doesn't always have the control when you're doing delicate fabric. So I've done that bit. Now the next bit we have to do is, so for the next stage, we take this away, put it to one side, and we take the front and the back of the bottom half. And this one, if you remember, I put some pins on here, so I know that this is the back. I'm going to put them in so they're single, on a single fabric. So I know this is the back, and I need to look at which one is the right side and which is the wrong side. That's the right side. So that's my back. If I lay it out like that, that's my back. And it says take the sleeves and sew the sleeves to the front and back. So this is the sleeve, this is one sleeve. Can you see that's a V there? I'm going to do that to there. So I'm going to sew the sleeves there to each of the back, the front and the back. So that there, I think that's the wrong way around. Is that the wrong one? Should it be that one? right side and wrong side, that one. So that is going to go to that one, and then I'm going to have the front to the other side. I'm going to sew this onto there, but I have to have right sides together. So I'm going to go right sides from right side there to right side there, and it's going to have a little V there where it's a gap. So I pin that to there and go right the way along to the other end like that, so that overlaps there. That's going to go like that, and then I get, sorry, that's my back, that's going to be pinned to there, and then I get the other half and pin it to here. Now it's not really showing you very well, but I'll show you once it's all done. I now have a front and a back with the sleeves there, and I've got a big massive wide neck there, and that's where the lace is going to go into there. So first of all, let's sew the sleeves together. So if I open that up, you can see there's the V, that's the sleeve point. That there is that point there. These are those there is the shoulder seam, and then we're going in there because you're going to set the lace into that little opening. So let's do the sleeve seams first. Okay. So this is now your centre front, centre back, and your sleeves are set in like that. Now I have to say that's one heck of a wide gap there, and I am worrying a bit because this looks rather big, but it might look better once the lace is set in. This is to my measurements. It's not one of those personal measurements. Well, it is a personal measurement, but I've never done this one before, and I'm hoping it's turning out right. I'm sure it will. So basically I've got a front and a back like that with a hole in the middle. So if I move that over there like that with a hole in the middle, and this is where your lace is going to go, because that's basically where your bust is there, your back's there, and the lace is going to go in here. So where have I put the lace? So you now have, because that's the back, where are my pins? Those are my pins there, so I know that that's the back. That's going to sit into there like that, and it's going to go into that gap. So what I'm going to do first, before I do anything, because I love top stitching my seams, I've pressed these towards the end of the sleeve, and I'm going to top stitch that, because that's just a preference. You can do whatever you like, but I just think it neatens it off. And then once I've done that, I'm going to put this in, set this in into the opening. Right, so I've top stitched the seams there. Excuse the cat hairs. She hasn't been in today, but it looks like she's left her mark on my table when she was in the other day. Even though I cleaned it, she seems to get everywhere. So, which is the back? That's the back, and this is the front. That's the right hand sleeve, and that's the left hand sleeve. So, is this with the pin here is the back. Let's get that the way it should be. So that's going to be going like that into that gap, but I have to make it right sides together. So I'm going to turn that way and have it so it's right sides together here, and I'm going to pin this centre front to centre front. So I go there, and I'm going to pin along there to there, and then pin around here till it's all set in. I'll come back to you in a minute. Now I don't know if the lace is stretched, but I'm going from there, from the centre front to this sleeve, and that's where the opening is there, but I seem to have a lot more fabric here. So I'm just going to leave that and do the other side and see how that turns out. Right, so I have pinned this. If I move them out the way, I've now pinned this. Take the shoulder seams, those are the shoulder seams, and I've pinned it to the body like that. Now the very ends where I've pinned it, you will see that there's a piece sticking out there. That's to be expected in a sense, but what you will have to do on this very point of this fabric, you need to cut a little piece there, not too far, just in the black fabric, not the lace. Just cut a little bit like that, because that's going to make it lie a bit better when you come to that point. Now I have a little bit too much of this fabric here, so I will probably have to cut some of it off, but I'm not going to cut it off until I've sewn that fabric right up to that point. I think because it's stretchy fabric, it's kind of stretched a bit more than I want it to do, you see, because there's lots of gaps there. So basically you want that to go right to the end, and then you want to sew along it. If you have any problems, don't sew the very top bit, and just sew along the straight bit on both sides, and then you can tidy that up later on. You can tidy that bit up later on. So let's do that. So I've sewn this in, and I've done a straight stitch because I just wanted to be certain that it's going to go on okay. And basically I've sewn it right up to that point there. I've left that as a gap because I want to make sure it's going to lie right. I may even just hand sew that corner just to make sure it goes right. So we've got, if I open it out, we now have a piece like this, which is sleeves. That one is the, where's the one with the pin? Oh, don't say I've lost my pin. Where's the, oh, that one's got the pin. That's got a pin in, so that's the back. This is the front, and those are the sleeves. So I'm going to turn it over to make sure it's lying fairly correct. What I've done there is I have made a little snip there. I started and ended there, so I've got to tidy up all my stitches there. Once I've got everything the way I want, and now, as I say, I'm going to tidy this bit up. Let's open it up and see. I'm going to tidy that bit up there so that it all lies perfectly. Like I say, I prefer to do a little bit of hand stitching there to make it look a bit better. And once I've got that perfected, then I'm going to properly sew it, and then I'm going to top stitch so that this is turned that way, so that you don't see any of the black seam, and then I'll trim it. So basically I'll tidy that up first, and then I'll show you where I am. I'm going to do that. I'm going to bring that through there like that, and then I'm going to basically turn everything that way, so it's all lying away from the lace. And I think I shall just temporarily do that. Temporarily do that there. And then this bit here comes here. There. And that seam there has to match this here, this point here. So let's get that there like that. Pull the lace if needs be, and get it so it pulls a bit better there, like that. Okay, and there we go. Come on. That's it. So that is going to be like that. And that's like that. So that's basically tidying that up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over this. In fact, no, I don't think I will. I think I'll just make sure that all this seam is going that way. Then I'm going to sew it down. I'm going to top stitch it and then take it from there. So I've now sewn this in, the lace in there, and to let you see what it's turned out like, if I open it up and go like that, that's what it's turned out like. It needs pressing, and I've turned this, the lace is all pointing away from the lace, so you've got no vision of the black there. You can't see any black facing. I've top stitched along there, and so that is more or less the neck done. Well, I'm going to trim this round here. I have to trim this round here and tidy it up. So I'm going to tidy that bit up. When you're sewing, you've got to make sure that everything's going that way. So I'm going to tidy that up, and then once I've tidied that up, we shall go right sides together, so down the arm and down the sides, and that's almost the only thing you'll have to do is your facing, your cuffs and your hem. Now then, this is it, almost finished. The sleeves are quite narrow, which is I quite like. I have to turn the hem up, and I think it's because it's lace, it's a bit baggy up here. And so what I was thinking about is maybe putting a black band up there instead of the bias binding, and I think that might look a bit better. Hem wise, on the bottom, don't know if, let's see if I can show you, I have made a vent. I was going to do a pocket. I thought I might make a vent. Let's see, I'll prop you there, that might be better. I have left an opening there, because I was wondering, should I make pockets to go in here? But you know, this is supposed to be looking dressy, isn't it? Excuse the black bra, I've got a black bra underneath, but it's supposed to look dressy. And I don't know if maybe putting pockets in might not be good, but I might leave a vent of some sort. Maybe it's not as long. I might make the vent just go down to about there. I don't know, maybe it's pockets. Perhaps pockets. I've got plenty of fabric, so let's make some pockets. You can't go wrong with a pocket. So I'm going to put some pockets in. It doesn't say pockets, but basically I'll do a pocket bag, put it in, then sew the bottom half, and then I'm going to, yeah, it's a bit drafty up here. I'm not used to lace. It's very drafty up there. I have got a black kind of body stocking thing that I could wear underneath, but or a flesh coloured one maybe. But oh, I like it. I do like it, and I'll tell you something. This is Jenny's fabric. Jenny sends me the fabric. She sent me this as a gift. But the fabric, when she used to send me fabric, sometimes she used to wash it for me. And as I've said, I've told you I don't usually wash, but Jenny always did, and nothing wrong with that. But this, she must have washed this, and it has the most fantastic smell. I wish you could smell it because it's so beautiful. Every time I go past it, I think, really, it's lovely. It's a lovely smell, Jenny. So if you're watching, Jenny, I want to know what, it's obviously a fabric softener. I don't know which one it is, but it smells gorgeous. So yes, so this is, it's not bad at all. It'll be a bit better when I turn the sleeves up, and we'll let you see what it's like when it's completely done. I've decided to add the facing that they give you to this, and I was thinking about having it so that it's over the top there. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to do wrong sides together, the right side to the wrong side, and then I'm going to turn it so that that's on the outside and turn it under around the edge. So let's try that. So the first thing I do is I've pinned the sides. I've pinned the two side seams, the shoulder seams on both sides. I've then gone and found the middle at the front and the middle at the back, and then the middle at the front and the middle at the back on the lace. I'm going to pin that to there, and the same at the back. That one to the back one, which is under there, I think, somewhere. There it is. So we'll match those together. In this camera this looks very dirty, but it's not. So I've got those joined there. I've got them in 4 points. They're pinned at 4 points, and now I've got to try and make the rest of it all fit in within this facing. Right, well, I've already sussed that this is not going to fit because the neck is too big for the facing. It needs to come in, and I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to come in on the shoulder line. So I'm going to come in there, along there to there, and do the same on the other side. So I'm going to have to pick up that row and then go along to there to make it a bit tighter. So I've now got the facing pinned onto this fabric, and I'm going to sew it. It's the right side to wrong side. So the right side of the fabric, and this is the right side of the fabric. And then once that's done, I'll turn it over like that. So it's actually on the outside. I've pinned this to, I've sewn this to the wrong side. And now I'm going to turn it over like this. And I'm going to turn that under a little bit. And then pin it all the way around and stitch it. See what that's pin it first and see what it looks like, and then I might stitch it. I'll come back to you when I've done that. Right, so this is with the collar pinned on, and I'm liking this better. It's actually pulled it in on the neck. It looks a lot better. Obviously I've just pinned it and I haven't measured it because that needs tidying up. I'll probably pin it and maybe tack it to make sure it's all even. That seems to be wider there than here, so I'm going to make sure I measure it all. And I've got the seams, they should be there on this, on the side seams. I did take this in a bit because there was a lot of space on it, but I think once I've pressed this, once I've got this sewn on and pressed, I think it'll look okay. I'm liking this actually, it's very nice. I've still got the pockets to put on. All I've done there, I don't use a pattern. Don't know if you can see there. I just cut it straight down, and then I go round here, and then I'll show you what I've just basically folded the fabric into 4 and then cut that. Just a guesstimate, and I thought, right, that's about my hand. That would be about my hand there. So that's all I've done. Not measured, not cut or anything. Those are my pockets, and we'll get those